Daily Devotion with Pastor Balla for April 16th, 2025. Where were you? From Job chapter 38, verses 4 through 7. Where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth? Tell me, if you have understanding. Who determined its measurements? Surely you know. Or who stretched the line upon it? On what were its bases sunk? Or who laid its cornerstone when the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy? God continues his response to Job, and he begins with a question that echoes throughout all time. Where were you? It's not sarcastic. It's revealing. God is inviting Job and us to recognize our place. Job had asked why suffering had come upon him. Now, God pulls back the curtain and reminds Job of who the author of creation is. These verses form the beginning of a series of questions from God that make it clear Job is not in control, never was, and never will be. And that's not an insult. It's a grace-filled truth. When life falls apart, when suffering comes, our natural instinct is to grasp for answers or assume we know how things should go. But God calls us to humility. He asks Job, where were you when the world was made? Did you measure it, build it, design it? The answer, of course, is no. The beauty in this passage is how God uses creation to teach theology. He doesn't give Job a lecture. He gives him a vision, a reminder that the universe is not random or chaotic, but designed and upheld by the wisdom of God. The image of a carefully measured and constructed world shows us that God is precise, intentional, and sovereign. And then comes a glimpse of wonder. When the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy. This poetic picture reminds us that creation was not only intentional, but joyful. The world was created with beauty and purpose. There was celebration at the foundation of the earth. That's the kind of God we serve. One who creates in wisdom and joy. This matters because it shifts our perspective. When we suffer, we often zero in on our pain and lose sight of the bigger picture. God doesn't minimize Job's suffering, but he lifts Job's eyes to something greater. God's eternal power, his wisdom, his joy in creating all things, and that includes Job himself. This passage teaches us that we don't have all the answers, and we don't need to. We need to trust the one who made the world, who laid its foundations, and who still holds it together. We need to remember that even when life seems like chaos, the Creator is still on his throne, and he knows what he's doing. God's peace and many blessings be with you. And thank you for listening. And please take an opportunity to share this message with others.